All right, so let's see if the audio is okay. Yeah, perfect. How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are doing great. I'm Dork Radu and I'm back with another daily analysis, the last one of this week. Since today is Friday, we decided to trade today as well because I saw a lot of setups that were triggered and still running. As for example, this setup right here that we are going to start off on odd NZD. Right here, we have this berry setup running in some nice profits as we speak. It smashed TP1, went super close to TP2, and currently running to close to TP1. The reason I took this setup is because I saw price was overall very bearish. Daily and 4-hour were both bearish on the trader graph. I saw this impulsive break towards the downside, a unmitigated order block that was lining up perfectly with the point of interest, and lastly, the pullback was also a nice and corrective one. And now we just need to wait and see how this one will play out today until we decide to end the day, of course. On ADCAT, we have a bullish setup that just triggered our first entry and currently running at around the entry price. The reason I took this setup is because I saw a very aggressive break. Overall price is bullish. I also saw this unmitigated order block that was lining up perfectly with the point of interest as well as with this bullish trader order block. Daily and 4-hour were both bullish on the trader graph, and it is safe to say that this pullback was a pretty corrective one as well. All right. On USD CHF, we have a bearish opportunity that triggered our first entry here and had a very beautiful sniper reaction. As we can see, it smashed TP1. The reason I took this setup is because, first of all, price is overall bearish. And right here, I saw a aggressive break of structure to the downside caused by this bearish leg. Before the break, liquidity was swept as heel right here as well. And after the break, I was able to identify this fair value gap that was lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Daily and 4-hour were both bearish on the trader graph as well. And the pullback seemed to be a pretty corrective one as well. Not the most corrective one, but this isn't a aggressive pullback either. So that's why I decided to take it. And currently it is running in some nice profits. On GBP CAT, we have another bullish opportunity. On this one, we smashed the first take profit on entry number 1, and then price reversed. Triggered entry number 2 and currently running in some drawdown. Nonetheless, it was a valid setup, no matter if it will hit the stop loss or the take profit. This was a valid setup that we took. I saw a continuation of this uptrend with this aggressive break towards the upside. I saw this fair value gap that was lining up with the discounted area of this bullish range. Daily and 4-hour were both bullish on the trader graph. And once again, the pullback was also pretty nice and corrective. So all the rules were in place, all the confluences. On odd USD, we just triggered entry number 1, and currently price is running in some profits as we speak. The reason I took this setup is because I saw this very impulsive break towards the upside. This unmitigated order block that was lining up perfectly with the point of interest as well as with this bullish trader order block. The trader graph was fully bullish and still is, as we can see. And the pullback was also pretty corrective as well. And now, since we just triggered, we just need to wait and see how it will play out. On NZD-CAD, this setup also triggered and currently running in some drawdown. Not a big drawdown, but still. However, it was a very valid setup. Why? Because as we can see, price is overall very bullish. Right here, we broke structure to the upside very impulsively with this bullish leg. After that, I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that was lining up perfectly with this bullish trader order block as well as with the discounted area of this bullish range. Daily and 4-hour both bullish on the trader graph, and it is safe to say that the pullback was also nice and corrective. Hence why we just need to sit on our hands now and wait to see how it will play out. On Euro USD, we have a potential bearish setup. Okay, we broke structure to the downside. We went super close to entry number 1, but then we reversed. However, this is still a valid setup. The 4-hour is bearish on the graph. We have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest, as well as with this bearish trader order block. Now we just need to wait and see if price will pull back towards our entries or if it will head lower. On odd CHF, we have a very textbook bearish opportunity. We have a aggressive break right here. We have a unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest. The 4-hour bearish on the trader graph. And now we just gotta wait and see if we manage to get a corrective pullback. On EuroCAD, another bearish setup. Okay, we can see we broke structure very impulsively to the downside. Before the break, liquidity was swept as well above this high. And after the break, I was able to identify this very small fair value gap that is lining up with the premium area of this bearish range, as well as with this bearish trader order block. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph. And now all we gotta wait for is to see if we manage to get a corrective pullback. And lastly, for our Forex analysis, we have Euro JPP with another bearish opportunity. As we can see, this one is a continuation of this very aggressive downtrend. Right here, we have a textbook break towards the downside that continued this downtrend. And it also left imbalance behind because I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that, as we can see, is lining up perfectly with the area of interest, as well as with this bearish trader order block. The trader graph is fully bearish as well, which is a great added confluence. And now the last thing that we would need to wait for is to see whether we manage to get a corrective pullback or not. And yeah, on that note, we'll end today's Forex analysis right here. Make sure to reach out on Discord if there's any other questions. Now I will go over today's metals analysis, starting off with gold, where we have a bearish opportunity. Right here with this aggressive bearish leg, we broke structure and we left imbalance behind. We have this fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Right above it, we have a bearish trader order block as well. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph, and it is safe to say that this pullback has been a very nice and corrective one, which is exactly what we want, hence why this is a valid setup. And on silver, unfortunately, there's nothing to analyze right now. So from here, I want to wait for a clear move to the up or downside, and we should be able to then identify a new setup. And yeah, that's about it for the metals analysis. As always, make sure to reach out on Discord if there's any further questions. And now I will go over today's indices analysis, starting off with US 30. That has been consolidating for the whole entire week, I would say, for the last 2 weeks actually. As we can see, it's moving up, down, leaving big wicks behind without a clear decision, without a clear intent. Hence why price is pretty much in the middle of nowhere and there's no setups that we can play with, which is totally fine, okay? We just focus on the ones that gives us clear setups, like for example, this one on SPX. Okay, we can see we have a very clear continuation of this uptrend with this bullish break. We have a unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest. Daily and 4-hour are both bullish on the trader graph. And so far, the pullback has been very nice and corrective as well. And lastly, for our indices analysis, we have NAS 100 with a pretty similar setup. Once again, a continuation of this uptrend with this aggressive bullish break. The trader graph is fully green. So far, the pullback looks pretty nice and corrective as well. And we also have this beautiful fair value gap lining up perfectly with the area of interest. And yeah, on that note, we'll end today's indices analysis right here. As always, make sure you reach out on Discord if there's any further questions. And lastly, I will go over today's crypto analysis, starting off as always with Bitcoin, where although price looks pretty bearish, I am not really able to identify a bearish setup yet. I would like to see this low being broken right here before I look for a bearish setup. Hence why, until then, we are just going to leave the chart as is. On Ethereum, same exact story. although price is looking pretty bearish, I don't really see a clear setup yet, and there's no point in enforcing any setups if there's none. On Dogecoin, however, we have a bullish setup that is looking pretty clean. Right here, we have a aggressive break with this bullish leg. We can see that the pullback has been very nice and corrective, which is very important. We also had this unmitigated order block that was lining up perfectly with the area of interest, as well as with this bullish trader order block. Daily and 4-hour both bullish on the trader graph, which is also very important. So yeah, pretty much a setup that meets all of our rules. And now we just gotta wait and see if it will trigger. XRP, nothing here to analyze. Okay, we can see that we are pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Yes, price is looking pretty bearish, but I do not see a clear bearish range that we could yet trade. And lastly, Solana, I think we have the same story here. Yep, as we can see, price is looking pretty bearish, but in order for me, for example, to take this bearish range here, I would like to see this low being broken. Until then, I cannot take it. So yeah, on that note, we'll end today's crypto as well as the overall daily analysis right here. As always, I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see y'all on the dork side. Take care.